أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم ورفعنا فوقكم الطور خذوا ما آتيناكم بقوة واذكروا ما فيه لعلكم تتقون. And recall when we took your covenant, O children of Israel, to abide by the Torah, and we raised over you the mount, saying, take what we have given you with determination, and remember what is in it, that perhaps you may become righteous. Misaq, a covenant, a contract, a kind of a contract which brings serious responsibility. Banu Israel were given Torah, and they were supposed to take it seriously, making it the most major part of their life, that they recite it, learn it, and live by it. خُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ. Take what we have given you with determination. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala especially said, مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that He gave the book, the Torah. This realization should be enough for them and us that Torah is from Allah and the Quran is from Allah. But yet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upraised, uprooted, and upraised the whole Mount of Tur, hovered above their heads while taking this covenant, the covenant that they will take the book with strength, meaning they will make it the most major part of their life, learning, reciting, and living by it. Imagine what a shake it would have caused in the earth while the whole mountain was uprooted and upraised, and the rocks falling, and the clouds of dust, and the mountain just over the heads. It must have been frightening. We learn from different narrations that they went in sajda while again and again looking at the mountain as well. At this point, they realized their wrongdoings, and we can imagine no one can refuse to accept the command given in these circumstances. The command that they have to take the Torah with strength and وَاذْكُرُوا مَا فِيهِ, and remember what is in it. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Perhaps you may become righteous, you may be saved. So our safety is in living by the book of Allah. It was kind of a practical demonstration for all of us to make us realize, as if mountains of destruction are above our heads, waiting for Allah's commands to fall upon us. And under these mountains, we are living unaware, unaware of the danger we are in. Only taqwa is the righteousness, that a person lives by the Quran while reciting, learning, and remembering it. And all of this is done due to fear of Allah. Only this qualifies as righteousness, that our deeds, our actions are due to fear of Allah and according to the commands of Allah. We learn in Surah Al-An'am, وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَاتَّقُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. This is a blessed book we have revealed, so follow it and be mindful of Allah, so you may be shown mercy. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I have left you with two matters which will never lead you astray, as long as you hold to them, the book of Allah and the Sunnah of his Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ثم توليتم من بعد ذلك فلولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لكنتم من الخاسرين. Then you turned away after that, and if not for the favor of Allah upon you and His mercy, you would have been among the losers. Even after taking the covenant in these conditions, it seems majority of them turned away, the immediate people and their later generations as well. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yet gave them the blessing of time. He sent messengers in them. This was due to fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then even after their transgression, they had the book and they were given prophets as well. We have also been favored by our Rabb that we have the book of Allah with us, and His Rahmah that they and us are being given the chances and provision that we can mend our ways before all of this is gone. It's pretty obvious that if a person is being favored and still he is being ungrateful, ignoring the blessings upon him, the favors upon him, then he is even more accountable than those who have not been favored this way. By coming of the last prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they got a brilliant chance to correct their earlier mistakes and believe in him, but they miss this chance as well. An important aspect we learn from these ayat is that the outward fear or threat does not help in the guidance of our hearts until unless our hearts accept the effect the book of Allah gives us. That we learn about the greatness of our Rabb and we realize our true selves, that we try to be Ibadur Rahman, slaves of Rahman, and not follow the shaitan. We learn in Surah Bani Israel, وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِرَبِّهِ كَفُورًا, and the devil is ever ungrateful to his Rabb. If we do not accept the effect of the Quran upon our hearts, the outward forces will not be able to break the arrogance of our hearts. فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثٍ بَعْدَهُ يُؤْمِنُونَ. So what message after this Quran would they believe in? وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ فِي السَّبْتِ فَقُلْنَا لَهُمْ كُونُوا قِرَدَةً خَاسِئِينَ. And you have already known about those who transgressed among you concerning the Sabt. And we said to them, be apes, despised. Another incident of Banu Israel history is being mentioned, which was well known for them. We learn the details of this incident in Suratul Araf. Banu Israel had the day of Sabt, the Saturday, for worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in which they were not allowed to deal with any of the worldly matters, but instead they had to spend the day in worship of Allah. We learn from the narrations that the day of Friday was given to them, but they chose it to be the Saturday by themselves, and as a result, the conditions of the Saturday were made stricter for them. For us, this special day of worship is Friday, and only the time period from the adhan of the Friday Salah till the Salah has been said, this time period for the men, it is not allowed that they deal in any business or any other jobs, but it is compulsory for them to attend the Jum'ah prayer in masjid. After Jum'ah prayer has been said, they can work normally. But for the Banu Israel, this was the whole Saturday day. So, a group of people from the towns which were the fishermen living around the rivers, they did this crime. We learn in Suratul Araf. Ask them, O Prophet, about the people of the town which was by the sea, who broke the Sabbath. During the Sabbath, abundant fish would come to them clearly visible, but on other days the fish were never seen. In this way we tested them for their rebelliousness. So their disobedience made the command even more difficult for them, that they were being tested, that the fish used to come in shallow waters on Saturday, but not on other days. They thought of a plan, and they used to spread the nets on Friday to catch the Saturday fish, and they used to collect it on Sunday. So on Saturday they were fishing, but not fishing. So they were given the punishment that they were humans but not humans. They were turned into apes with their faces, while they were the same humans from inside. They used to recognize each other and cry, but now crying was of no use. It's not the case that they were not warned clearly again and again. We learn in Suratul Araf that they were clearly warned, but they became stubborn, and now they were quite used to the practice they were doing. When some of the righteous among them questioned their fellow Sabbath keepers, why do you bother to warn those Sabbath breakers, who will either be destroyed or severely punished by Allah? They replied, just to be free from your Rabb's blame, and so perhaps they may abstain. When they ignored the warning they were given, we rescued those who used to warn against evil and overtook the wrongdoers with a dreadful punishment for their rebelliousness. فجعلناها نكالا لما بين يديها وما خلفها وموعظة للمتقين. And we made it a deterrent punishment for those who were present and those who succeeded them, and a lesson for those who fear Allah. Nakal means an exemplary, severe punishment which stops one from doing such an act. Nakal for everyone, that they may be warned, and Maw'izah for the righteous ones. Maw'izah, a good advice, the reminder that even if the righteous ones, they feel that while disobeying people are living the life of their wishes, but the disobedience never brings success. It always ends up with an embarrassing failure. So a person should stay firm on the right path and behave just like those wise people who said, قالوا معذرة إلى ربكم ولعلهم يتقون. They replied, just to be free from your Rabb's blame, as an excuse towards your Rabb, and so perhaps they may abstain. These people, they were saving themselves by fulfilling their duty towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they were sincere in trying to save those people who were doing wrong. They were not doing their job half heartedly. We need to learn that it's never okay to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's our duty to address the evil practices around us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favored us with the book that we save ourselves by living by the commands of Allah and telling others to do so as well. We learn in Suratul Asr, Wal Asr, by the passage of time. Surely humanity is in grave loss, except those who have Iman and they do good, and they urge each other to the truth, and they urge each other to the perseverance. This example is a great warning for us, as it has become a common practice among the Muslims as well that through different excuses we turn haram into halal, as our Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us at several places that we will do the same mistakes the Banu Israel did. Obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes easy for us if we take the things as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained them for us and do not try to manipulate them in different ways. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from such foolishness. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك